What's popping, guys? Josiah Brandon here with 10gallonfishtanks.com. Today we're going to head over to my neighbor's house and we're going to teach him and you guys how to do aquarium maintenance, how to do a water change on a 10-gallon tank. What's popping, fish keepers, shrimp keepers, 10-gallon fish tank fanatics? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to do a proper water change on your 10-gallon tank. So if you just got a new 10-gallon tank, you got the fish, you got the shrimp, you got the plants, you got the decorations, you're super excited, but now is the part that you want to set yourself up for success and make sure that these fish, shrimp, plants thrive and do super well, which means doing proper tank maintenance every single week so you can have optimal success. So we're going to get into it today. I'm at my neighbor's house and we're going to hot rod a couple things. So just before we get into it, we're going to do a 20% water change, which on a 10-gallon tanks is 2 gallons. We are going to put some extra substrate in here. I did give him frog bit, that's floating plants, that's helping suck nitrates out. So we got that set up. And then he does have a proper feeding schedule for his shrimp and fish. He has a hang-on back, which he's going to either switch out for a sponge filter or he's going to hot rod it with a pre-sponge filter intake, because if you have shrimp, they have a tendency to want to get sucked into the back of these hang-on backs, especially the babies. And then with his hang-on back, we are going to hot rod it. We're going to get rid of the filter pads that they come with, which are a scam because you're going to be buying them every single month and spending a lot of money. And we're just going to do a sponge filter in it, which all he has to do is pull that out and rinse it out. So step one, we're going to power everything off. We want to turn the heater off. We want to turn the filter off. We want to turn the lights off. And then we're going to start draining water. All right, the first tool you're going to need is a gravel vac. So there's 2 different types you can get. I would highly recommend getting the one he has here, which has the little siphon ball, because it's going to make your life so much easier. So we're going to stick this end down into the bucket. Yeah, I guess if you can grab that for me, thank you. And this one's going to go down into the tank down here, and we're going to start the siphon. And we're going to siphon out 2 gallons of water. Now, one thing you want to be careful of, especially because he has shrimp, is making sure we don't siphon out any babies. So what we're going to do is, as we go around the tank, we're going to stick this siphon just down into the substrate just a little bit, and it's going to pull out any of the excess poop or food that might be left over, and that's going to pull out some of the extra nitrates out of his tank to help with optimizing his water quality. So ideally, you want to do a 10% water change every week, or if you're not doing weekly water changes, you want to do a 20% water change every 2 weeks. So that means 1 gallon every week if you're maintaining your tank, or 2 gallons every 2 weeks. And you just go around, siphon it out, and you can see that it's pulling out some excess food and poop out of the substrate, which is going to give him better water quality and help his fish be a little bit healthier and thrive a little better. Now, what we're going to do after we're done here, we almost got about 1 gallon, is making sure we go back and check and make sure we didn't siphon out any baby shrimp. So if you're doing the siphon like this, just make sure you go back and you check it, because if you siphon out baby shrimp, you want to put them back into the tank so you don't accidentally kill them. But other than that, it's pretty simple. So once again, you're just going to do this 1 to 2 gallons of water, 1 gallon every single week if you're going to do weekly, and 2 gallons if you're going to do it bi-weekly. Typically, with a 10-gallon tank, less is more. So I usually like to do 1 water change every 2 weeks, about 20%. Sometimes I will go up to a month, but right now he doesn't have enough plants to go that long. So every 2 weeks he should be doing a 20% water change. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and stop right there. Put that plant back in this tank. We can get it out of there. There we go. Awesome. Perfect. See in here, I'm going to zoom in. You will see, if you look really closely, one swimming right around there. Yep. So you can see some baby shrimp swimming in there. Those are what's getting sucked up in his hang-on back. So that's why we need to do either a sponge filter moving forward or put a pre-sponge filter on his hang-on back. We've gotten all the babies back in the tank. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to top his tank back up. We are going to, and I should have done this prior, but we're going to scrape the algae off the glass. You typically want to scrape the algae prior to draining the water out, so if there's any extra algae floating around, you can siphon it out of there. But we're going to do that real quick and then reattach his heater, and then we're going to hot rod this next. All right, so we just went ahead and we did the sponge and clean the glass. Once again, we should have done that prior to draining 20% of water, so 2 gallons of water out. The next thing we did was we filled this bucket up with 3 gallons of water, and we're going to be using some chemicals. So as long as you're on city water, you're going to need to dechlorinate your water, and then especially if you're doing a bigger water change or it's a newer tank, you're also going to want some bacteria to help keep the bacterial cycle going in your tank to deal with all the nitrates and everything. So we got the water conditioner and we got the bacteria. We are going to add into the bucket that already has water, and then we're going to dump that water into our tank. I like to do it that way because it's the safest. Sometimes you can really just fill a bucket up and dump it right into the tank with water and then treat it, but that gives you more risk. If you forget to put your chemicals in, you have a chance of killing all your fish off. So it's always better to put all your tap water conditioner and everything in a bucket prior and then put it in, because that's the safest way to do it for your fish. All right, so for the top fin, 2 gallons is going to be 1 milliliter, which is a very small amount, but we're going to go slightly over. With conditioner, it's better to go a little bit more than not enough. So I always go probably about 1.5 times what I think I need, just to play it safe. Okay. The other thing too, when you're filling your bucket of water up, is you want the water temperature to be similar to the water temperature in your tank, so you don't cause your fish water temperature shock as well. So this one, 5 gallons is 5 milliliters. We're going to go ahead and add a full dose in here just to add some extra bacteria in for him. Okay. All right, now we're going to let it sit for about a minute, make sure it disperses in the water, and then we're going to add that into the tank. While the water is sitting there adjusting, we are going to go ahead and open up his filter and kind of hot rod it, kind of customize it, make it better. So he's been using these pads. These can be expensive. You got to buy them every month, switch them out. And then when you throw the pad out, you lose your whole cycle, because this is where all the beneficial bacteria is. I mean, there's also beneficial bacteria down in his gravel, his plants, his aquarium decorations, but this is where a majority of it's going to be. So every time you throw a pad out, you're now having to restart your whole aquarium. And that's why people like Petco and PetSmart like you to buy these, because then they get to make money off you every month. And then you're buying more bacteria, you're buying more stuff to restart your whole cycle. It's better to just use a sponge, because that way you don't lose your whole cycle every time you rinse it out. You still keep that beneficial bacteria. So we're going to throw this away. And we're going to do sponge. This is way more cost effective. So you buy sponge, you put it in there, all the beneficial bacteria, all the poop, everything's going to get stuck up in here. And then all you have to do when you're ready to clean it is you just pull it out, rinse it out, and then put it back in, and you don't lose your whole cycle every time. It's way cheaper. You buy this once and then you're good for the next year. So it looks like this is actually already cut in little triangles. We're going to see how much we need. Okay. So give me that. All right, so we need about this much. So we're going to cut right here. Right there? Yep. And we can throw that down in here. And I like to kind of just push it down in. And then we're going to take the other one and do the same thing. About right there. Awesome. And then this, once again, can get put down up in here. So now let me get you guys off the tripod and show you what we did to hot rod it set up. Fill this whole little hang-on back with sponge. And like I said, all the water is going to flow in here. Beneficial bacteria will grow on these sponges. All the poop and excess food will get caught up in there and get broken down. And then when you need to, all you have to do is you pull this out, rinse it out in a bucket, and then you can put it right back in. And then you never have to buy those expensive cartridges, which really don't do a whole lot. This is going to be, and you can see way more surface area for bacteria to grow on here. So this is going to provide him probably about 5 to 10 times more cleaning power in his tank than those little cartridges. There's way more edges and holes and for things to grow on. So he's going to have much better filtration system here. Like I said, it's going to be about 5 to 10 times more powerful than what he had before. He used some of that excess sponge here to create a pre-intake sponge. This is going to help reduce the babies getting sucked up in here and create also more surface area for bacteria to grow and places for shrimp and fish to eat off of. So this is awesome. Unfortunately, the video I took at his house of us topping the tank off and turning everything back on and getting it running didn't record. So I'm just going to walk you guys through the next steps. And I took a little B-roll of me in my fish room today doing some tank maintenance. So pretty much the same as he would. So Once you have the water dechlorinated and the temperature is as similar as possible to your aquarium water, then you go ahead and just top your tank off. And I like to top it off all the way till you get to the black rim. Once you get it topped off properly, at that point, you just turn your lights back on, your heater back on, your filter back on. But before you turn your filter back on, make sure you take a little bit of aquarium water and fill, if you're using a hang-on back filter, fill the hang-on back with water so you don't burn the motor out. And then you are good to go. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was informative and helpful. Not a typical video like I normally do. Usually I'm here in my fish room studio, but we're at my neighbor's house, so I did the best I could with the atmosphere I was in. So hopefully you found it helpful and it helps you guys be able to do proper water changes on your 10-gallon tank. As always, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment down below what the first tank size was that you got. Is it a 10-gallon tank, 5-gallon, 20, 75? What's your first tank? Comment down below. I'd love to hear it. On top of that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. And if you want any of the stuff I personally use in my fish room or have used in the past, check the link in the description below. I got sponge filters, air pumps, all sorts of aquarium stuff down there that I like to use or have used in the past. So go check those out. And as always, wanted to give a special shout out to my members. That's right, we got the nano bubblers for $1 a month, and for $5 a month, we got the mid-level water squad. But quick shout out to Daniel Heinlein, James Holbrook, Raz Aquatics, Johnny Cisco, Lucas Hallman, Daniel Berzacelli, Seabreeze Tropicals, Marinick Jansen, Tom's Fish Room, Kyle Morrison, and Ryan Woods, our newest member here on the member wall. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. All that's going right back into continuing to fund what we do here. So I really appreciate the support. On top of that, our mid-level water squad people get 10% off my website. Everybody, mid-level and nano, both get their special only members Facebook group, Discord, and members only live streams and members only content. So appreciate the support a lot. Thank you guys. As always, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
What's up, yo? Buddy. Need some fish, bro. Then you gotta go to the 10-gallon fish pro. 10-gallon, yeah. Fish tanks, yeah. 10-gallon, yeah. Fish tanks. All day long. Shrimp, blue shrimp, yellow shrimp too. Green shrimp, orange shrimp, and a snowball zoo. We got fish, y'all. We got fish, dog. We got it all. Tuxedo koi, guppy, white cloud, minnow, long fin, white cloud, pygmy corridora, panda cory, stir by cory, albino cory, coolie loach, green cuba, tyrus boris, celestial pearl, danio, and emerald dwarfers bora, pea puffer, clown, killie, sparkling goat or me.